Hello, leaders. Hey, this is Paul Grau, and welcome to Run to Your Leadership Challenges, the daily show that equips leaders and their teams to achieve their greatest potential. This show is sponsored by the CLC team, and they provide team and individual coaching, team communication training, and a brand new mastermind group that just began on April 1st. Find out more about them at clcteam.com. Hey, hope you're doing great today. And today, I want to talk about something that I recently learned in a book study that we did in our early morning mastermind group. And that is, as leaders, we need to ask ourselves if we are controlling or if we're training our team members. Now, the book that we're studying is called Every Man a Warrior: Helping Men Succeed in Life. And obviously, this is a men's mastermind group, and it's more of a Bible study, to tell you the truth. This book actually refers to how detrimental it can be if parents control their children as opposed to training them. The interesting thing, however, is that you can substitute parents here with leaders and say leaders who make control their objective rather than training their team members can have a detrimental impact on their team members, or on productivity or morale, or a detriment on confidence, self-esteem, and plug in any other word you can there. The book has this to say about leaders who make control their objectives. These leaders unknowingly communicate the following messages to their team members. Number one, you don't know how to think. Therefore, I must do the thinking for you. Number two, I don't want you to suffer the consequences for your bad decisions. Therefore, when I'm in control, I'll bail you out of your problems. Number three, I don't believe you have what it takes to make good decisions or be successful. Man, can you say ouch on that one? Number four, I don't trust you. You're not responsible. Therefore, I need to control you. Now, man, these are some harsh statements. And again, that is the possible message that you're communicating to your team members if you are controlling all of the decisions and their schedules and how they perform their jobs. Okay, so let's turn the tables and talk about some good news. Leaders who make training their team members the objective communicate a whole different message. These leaders communicate that, number one, they help their team members learn how to think and make decisions. Number two, they communicate that they want to help their team members learn the consequences of those decisions. Number three, they want their team members to believe they can succeed. Number four, they want to give their team members the freedom to mature. And finally, number five, they want to keep communication lines open so their team members feel free to come to them when they make a mistake. Now, I want to remind you that all of those statements come directly out of the book Every Man a Warrior: Helping Men Succeed in Life. And again, this study book is meant for parents and how to raise their children by setting them up for success. However, I think it's easily applicable to us as leaders, because if we primarily control our people as opposed to training them, man, the consequences can be very similar, as they may think that we don't think that they can do what we want them to do. Or they may think that we think they just can't control the responsibility of making a decision. Therefore, we have to control the decision making ourselves. Of course, if you're a parent, just think of these consequences. I think I can speak for every parent out there by saying that we don't want our children growing up thinking that they're not responsible enough to make decisions. And the same thing should go for our team members. We don't want them developing thinking that. If we use training as a primary objective, our team members are going to learn how to make decisions. They're going to learn that failure is one of the best lessons they could have, because they learn what not to do. They're going to understand that all decisions that they make have direct consequences. And maybe most importantly, they're going to believe in themselves. Their self-esteem will increase. Their confidence will grow. And maybe most importantly, they will know that the communication lines between you and them are open, and they can come to you even when they fail or make a mistake. So today's challenge is for you to examine yourself and ask yourself if you're controlling your team members or taking the approach of training your team members. Of course, I realize if some of your team members are very young and unexperienced or brand new to the company, you may have to walk them through and possibly control some of their decisions early on. However, the quicker you can transition into a training strategy for the team members, the quicker that they're going to start to learn and grow as not only team members, but as a leader, both on the job and off the job. You're going to actually be setting them up for success in every area of their life. Now, if examining yourself, you discover that you're controlling a lot of the decisions being made within your team, ask yourself what decisions you can train your people to make and or take over that responsibility altogether. If you can't answer that question, or if you think that you are unable to train any of your team members to take on responsibility of making decisions, man, that could be a dangerous situation to be in. And you may have to start with step one and get them some quality training on taking responsibility. Or you may have to look at yourself and see if you are holding on too tightly to all the decision making. I want to close with this comment that one of the mastermind members said as we were wrapping up this lesson. Jay said that one thing that stood out to him in this lesson was a statement earlier in the chapter that dealt with focusing on training. And it said, quote, instead of focusing on controlling our team members, our focus should be on training, their ability to think, and their capacity to make good decisions without our help. Man, did you get that? Have a capacity to make good decisions without our help. And that should be one of our top priorities as leaders, to bring up our people so they can do things without our help. So think long and hard about all the decisions that you're making today and figure out which ones your team members could make by themselves, even if you're not around. When your team members are prepared to do that, you are definitely doing your job as a leader. Hey, training people to think on their own and make decisions is a huge responsibility for leaders. And sometimes it helps a lot to seek advice from other leaders. And that is what we discussed in our early morning mastermind group this morning. I'm happy to announce that the current mastermind kicked off yesterday, and there's still plenty of seats available if you want to get in. And the really good news for you is that I am giving a very, very special founder's price to anyone who joins between now and May 1st. And I'm including access to our current membership community as well. So that's 4 additional live Zoom calls each month. For more information on this amazing deal, please visit clcteam.com and click on the Mastermind tab at the top. Or you could just click on the link in today's show notes. Hey, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and thank you for listening. We'll chat again tomorrow. Until then, run to your challenges.